So the object of life is more development. So with that, that can mean a lot of things. Let's be honest, the development of ourselves, there's different ways that we can develop, whether it's emotionally, socially, intellectually, just so many different ways. So I wanted to go into a little bit more depth about, what it means to have more development in things. And I want to begin with the growth and development as a fundamental purpose. So what I mean by fundamental purpose is that um, we do not seek to become less, right? Like we're always naturally inclined within ourselves to want to become more. Um, that's just nature has programmed us that way. We always want more. Um, that's just what we're inclined to, and that's natural, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way that nature is always for further expansion and growth in nature. You can see that everywhere. And it's no different for us as humans. So to know that there's nothing wrong with wanting more out of your life. If you've had past conditionings that lead you to believe that there's something wrong with wanting more from life, know that that's not a belief that's not serving you any way in any way that's going to make your life better. That's if you feel like you have everything and you should just be grateful for what you have, understand that we are fundamentally supposed to, like, that's what we're here for, is for further development and just getting the things that we truly seek and desire. That's just part of our nature and why we're here. Um, and the next thing is, when it comes to more development and what that means, it's to help progress humanity. So at first, it's maybe hard to realize that if I do better myself, how is that helping humanity? But really, every person on this earth all has a purpose. There's a purpose for everybody, and we don't necessarily always see it, and it's not something that a lot of people really seek out to find. But you are there's so many. It comes back kind of to like the movie I'm recalling, like the butterfly effect, that you never know what little thing is going to make a difference somewhere else for somebody else. And we're all in this living in this world together. We're all playing by the same rules, and the way that all of the natural laws work, with the law of karma, cause and effect, all that, when we begin to put the positivity out, we get it back. And the way that we get it back is through the use of other people. So you never know the things that you're doing. I can guarantee everything that you do plays into somebody else's um, day, or helps them. So if you're doing things positive, what you're doing by doing that is giving the positive to somebody else, and in turn, that's what's going to come back to you. So with along the lines of the progress of humanity, the more that you develop, especially towards the positive and the growth, the natural type development is only for good. As you develop more and more, you're going to put more of that in the world. And if enough people, put out enough positivity, I mean, who knows what could happen. But there's just so many people that just don't take a step back and look at themselves and understand the power that they have with their minds and the choices that they're making every day. Um, so after the humanity's progress, for in that line of explaining what more development is, would come to really like cultivate your inner potential. So everybody has potentiality, like, within them. Anybody, honestly, I do believe anybody can do anything that they can put their mind to and that they desire to do. And when they start to find the things that speak to you on the inside, it's important to continue to work at those things, because what that does is the more that you work on what your potentials are, especially, it's important, the things that make you feel good, to cultivate those skills and the things that bring you happiness into your life. And then what that does is it makes you feel good. So obviously, naturally, when you feel good, you're putting out the positive energy. That's what this is all about, is just the positivity. So the more that you cultivate that within yourself, the more that you're helping, and the more that you're going to develop into the things that are going to make you happy. Um, so with that, you know, you'll cultivate um, just goodness in your life. And then the next one for more development, and this is kind of a big one, is really to make sure that you're holding being resilient, and that you have the ability to adapt to the changing environment. So the definition, I looked it up, the definition of resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. So if you really think about that, the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. So if you take a step back from that light and you look at just life in general and the way that, your life goes is it's full, you're going to find a lot of those difficulties. And I mean, it's just everywhere. That's everywhere you look in your life, it won't, like, more than likely it's not hard to find something that's extremely difficult. And along with the difficulty, I would add in the negativity as well for the terms of what we're speaking about, because the negative, that's going to lead to difficult. The more negative that you are in your mind, the more difficult your life is going to be. It's a vicious circle that you're going to bring back to yourself. But to remain, resilient in the eyes and the thoughts of, of having more development in my life or in your life would come to mean, really it's just to remember to be resilient is to move through things and not let the difficulties bring you down. So with that is remembering that you want to be more positive, remembering that you have the power to control your mind, remember that you don't have to let those negative things enter into your subconscious, and be resilient in that, because you're gonna have a lot of difficulties when it comes to working through, um, the negativity that comes to your mind. Life makes it really difficult, but to remain resilient and remember and work through those, the more that you work through getting rid of that negativity and replacing it with positivity, the easier it's going to get, because you're just going to stop bringing more negativity into your life. Instead of attracting more negativity to your life, all of that offsetting of the negativity with the positivity that you're doing. Let's say you're starting off 40%, 40% positive, 60% negativity. Well, that means that 60% of the time, the things that life is going to give you is negative. Well, if you're able to flip that and say, okay, well, I've worked at this and I'm 40%, well, I'm only negative 40% of the time. Well, that means 60% of the time you're being positive. So that means that 60% of your life is going to be positive. So, with those small changes, they will add up, and they will add up probably faster than you realize. But you just have to remember, and that's the big thing, man. Like, your life will get coming at you, and you'll get going in that viciousness of life, and you'll just kind of forget that you're trying to be more positive. You'll forget that, of all these things that you really want to do, and it's not because you don't want to, it's because life is just that. It'll just grab you, man. Like, it'll bring you back, it'll take you back to everything that you know, because it's easier. It is much easier just to continue living your life the way that you know to live it, the way that you have been living it. That's way easier than trying to change it. I mean, it's the same as losing weight, and that's something that I know that I want to do, but it's no different. Like, you can do it for a while, and then life's going to get you, and you just throw the towel in. But that's where the resilience and the not giving up and knowing that this is powerful. So really, just, the beginning of it is to be more positive, like, and grateful. Positive and gratitude, those two things will lead to everything else. If you can just remember every day, remind yourself when you start to feel negative, or you just if you can just remind yourself to be positive, to think positive, and then that'll force you to be positive, and then everything else is it's just very it's a gradual, it's just you just have to be intentional with it. And you maintain that, and your life will change. And along with that, as we develop, moving on from the adapting and resilience, we attain more consciousness and more the ability to think more. The more that we work down this path to understand, how powerful our minds really are and the choices that we do have, as you start to develop and really study it, you're going to start to become more conscious of your thinking. And that's huge because when you start to realize how many choices you make without thinking, and then you start to be more pay more attention to that, then what that's going to do is that's you're going to start to control more outcomes in your life. And you couple that with the positivity that you're going to bring into the additional positivity, and then you're really off to the races, running real good there. Um, and then I guess the last point when it comes with the life for more development is the spiritual and emotional development that you get when you come down to really um, try to understand yourself and really try to um, be better and do better. And it's something that I'm definitely definitely understanding. I've never really been a real spiritual type, religious type person until really started looking and reflecting on the inside of myself and realized that, you know, we're all connected. I mean, we really are on this earth. We're all made of the same stuff. We all live in the same, everything is, we're all parts of each other essentially. We're all made of the same stuff. And that connects us all. So because we're all connected, the more that we can develop spiritually and emotionally, the more, the more good and the more positivity that we'll have in life. But not only that, within more development, I really think that in a level of faith, whatever the faith is in, um, it's really needed because that gives you that unquestioning belief in what you're doing. And if you unquestionably, just believe what you're doing, and you know it, within yourself that what you're doing is it's right and it's good, you're more likely to continue to do it because you do believe in it. Whether that's church, beliefs in God and Jesus, whatever it is that the belief. There's so many different religions and they're all teaching really the same thing, man. You got to have that faith. You have to have that faith in something. I know, um, a little studying of the AA at Alcoholics Anonymous, can't say anonymous. The they teach that it doesn't matter. It's got to be something. Something has to be your higher power in that term, in that sense, and that's true, man. And that's what I had missed for so many years in my life. And it was always there. It was always, I mean, it always is, but that's life. Like the answers are always like right in your face. Somebody's probably told you this before. And there's probably somebody in your life that when you tell this to, they're going to say, well, yeah, I told you that. But it's different when somebody's trying to give you something that you're not ready for. It doesn't matter. Like you're not going to take that. It's in one ear, out the other. But when you're ready to accept that, and especially when you're ready and then you find it yourself, it has a completely different meaning that that never entered into your mind before. And I find that a lot with especially with my wife. It's like I'll say something and she's right. It's something that she brought up before, but it doesn't we're that's just it's just nobody wants to be changed. Like everybody's open to change, but people don't want to be changed. People don't want to, generally be told. And then for it to think that that's going to matter, it's not. You could be told to do something. Maybe you'll do it for a day. Maybe you'll do it for 2 days. But then you're going to turn around and go right back to what you know, because that's just the way that we are. That's the way that it goes. So finding that within your, going out yourself and finding these things are um, are important because that's how it's going to stick. That's how you're going to be able to really have that faith is because you're out, you're seeking it, you're making your own decisions, your own judgment. Nobody is telling you, giving you any input on the things that you are coming to determine. And I know for me, that's the way that went. It was just a lot of reading and everything, and realizing that there the way that this this earth spins and it revolves around the sun, and the way that everything that's that we see out in the universe is so perfect. It's like I don't know if that happens by chance. I really don't think that type of perfection can happen as chance. And I heard it or read it on a book. It's you how can we go and land on the moon with such precision of however precise we can calculate, and it's you can't do that by just happenstance. I mean it's just to me, it's created, it's intelligent, it's intelligently created. So that comes back to, the basis that we're all created from the energy. And you couple that with the thought of and the teaching of what God is in all, through all, cannot be cannot be created or destroyed. Well, that's energy, man. So for me, that's what my faith is in. It's in energy, it's in God, because I have realized that we're all talking about the same thing. It's all comes down to the same thing. You just have to have your mind has to be open enough to be able and not be so closed mind to say, no, it can't be that. It has to be that. That's, that's really where what opened me up, and that's what's brought me to where I'm at, man. And I want to keep working at this. I want to keep making these videos and helping, and because it's right there in front of your face, man. You just got to do it. Like it's one of those things. It's just getting the word out, getting the message out that we all can do this, and we can all live better lives, have what we want. And I'm gonna be that example. So I want to thank you for checking the video out, making it here to the end. Um, I hope there was something that I said that will kind of set with you and resonate and means something to you to get you started on that journey to go out there and find the things that are for you, because everything is for all of us. That's We're here, and everything is on this earth for us. Like, that's just the way it goes. So thanks.